Thank you, Sara. Now the floor goes to Matteo Testi from the Bruno Kessler Foundation, and he will tell us about the role of research, specifically of FBK, on hydrogen. And he will also tell us how this contributes to making businesses attractive. Thank you. I would like to go back to what Mrs. Veronese said about hydrogen being still a sort of a frontier. We are considering this in relation to current industrial usages and also in terms of its role for decarbonization. This means that the research and development topic is paramount, and it is increasingly taken into the industrial setting and not only in research centers. The contribution that Fondazione Bruno Kessler gives can be split down into three items. First and foremost, in terms of know-how, since we participate in many European and national projects, we keep the state-of-the-art advanced and a very high level by also making the experience acquired available to businesses. So we have this virtuous cycle whereby the state of our research remains very high, and this is then given to businesses that can create value-added products very rapidly, also because we have the staff which is needed to do so, and also because we can expand our the number of people we work with. Then infrastructure is the second element. Hydrogen, differently from batteries, is not a plug-and-play technology. I mentioned batteries, but there are also technologies that you simply plug in the existing electricity grid, so there are less interfacing projects, while hydrogen is a whole supply chain. You need to have production, you have storage with all its elements, and then final consumption with all its details and aspects, burners, and not only that, which means that the supply chain has to validate the various technologies. We need larger scale technologies to do so. But the main aspects here are not only performance, but especially durability, lifetime, and you need an infrastructure to achieve that. That infrastructure is very expensive in that it requires investments that a limited number of businesses can do on their own, which is important, which means that the contribution coming from the public sector is very important. Going back to what was said earlier on, we received the first EPCA wave of projects, which is one of the projects with common European interest on hydrogen, and we can create a hub, a facility for that respect in order to make experiments, tests for electrolyzers of different sizes, including compressors and accumulation devices. This makes it possible for the businesses to have a third-party certification of what they offer in terms of number of hours of work of the machines without failure. This is very important within the framework of the research that we perform here and the support to businesses that we give. Then there is the third element, which is the following. Hydrogen must be funded and financed also by the public sector. FBK has always worked to support businesses also in finding the funds they need for their demo or pilot projects. We support them in writing projects and for calls for innovation projects, for instance. And we also work for this purpose, thanks to the strategic position we have within the European research strategic organizations, given the fact that our director is also part of the specific network in Europe that voices and discusses about projects in the field. All this makes it possible for us to support companies and give them solid scenarios, especially for business cases and not only for products. So know-how at all levels, infrastructure and funding support are the three elements that FBK gives to this province. We make, by doing so, the area more attractive for hydrogen. Thank you very much.
Grazie Matteo. Adesso darei la parola a Claudio Darri, amministratore delegato di Nuova Reti, che è la società del gruppo Dolomiti Energia che distribuisce oltre 300 milioni di metri cubi di gas all'anno sul territorio provinciale principalmente.